Hi! In this video, I want to share with you what I consider to be some of the most fundamental exercises in jazz. I know some people will argue and disagree, saying that exercises are anti-jazz and anti-improvisation. However, that is like advising the adult foreign language student to learn just by speaking and not to study verbs or grammar or vocabulary. Clearly, this is bunkum. Jazz is a language, and to learn a language, we need cognitive scaffolding to build on, as our brains as adults need structure to hang new input on and build new associations, as otherwise new input remains unrelated noise, and exercises provide specific, focused input and training. So the exercises I will demonstrate are based on the cycle of fourths or fifths, however you like to call it. This cycle is so important as it is featured in one way or another in hundreds of classic tunes, so it makes total sense to study it alone in an undiluted, pure way. Okay, let's get hands-on. The first exercise, notes 1, 3, and 5 of the major triad around the cycle. This is the triad then in its root position. Please do not make the mistake of thinking that these initial exercises I present here are too simple and therefore without merit or not worthy of your time. These basic staple exercises will form a foundation for you on which to build your jazz harmonic information, which you will need if you are a non-genius like me. By practicing this first exercise, you'll learn the major chords in all 12 keys, in the order they most often appear in jazz. Second exercise. Now the same major triads, this time in first inversion, starting on the third. So notes 3, 5, and 1. You will notice that I'm not using any music. This is hugely important. By using recall and memorization, your brain and ear will make the connection deeper between the academic and the oral. From the get-go then, it is advisable to memorize this cycle of fourths, as this is going to be invaluable as you progress to understanding more complex associations and harmonic structures. This exercise is so cool as it familiarizes you with the idea and sound of starting on the third of each chord, which is such a bold, defining, and unique sound. Exercise 2, variation. If you start to find this first inversion exercise a little too easy, try preceding the first note by the minor third. This is a fantastic bluesy ornament to use to spice up your improvisations. By the way, this minor third can be a grace note or an eighth note. It's up to you. It depends on how you want to play it, and there lies the beauty and freedom. So already you are practicing the yin-yang of jazz, the major and minor third, side by side. I don't know about you, but I love this sound. Third exercise now, starting on the fifth. This, in classical speak, is called the second inversion. Bear in mind, You are free to play these exercises how you like. Staccato, swung, straight, legato. Be sure to enjoy yourself. In fact, I implore you to start personalizing these exercises, as this will add to the fun and it will help you to start experimenting with developing your own way of playing. By the way, as you may have noticed, I am playing all of these exercises right now rubato without any time constraint. Be sure at some stage to practice them with a metronome or a beat, as this will add a whole new dimension to your practice session and development. As well, you can start to improvise little endings to each line, turning the exercise into something creative. Only if you feel like doing this, of course. Fourth exercise. This is an open, stretched version, now of the major triads. 1, 5, then major third above. Personally, I find this exercise very pleasing. The leaps provide a perfect opportunity for practicing technique, airstream, control, and amongst other things, tuning. This way you leverage your practice time, which feels good. I like to start my daily warm-up with this kind of open exercise without any hurry, taking the time to enjoy the sounds, easing myself into the practice session, giving myself the time to get used to the reed, the feeling of my fingers on the keys, my breathing, etc. It's a bit like a meditation. To finish with this segment, let's try a Coltrane version of these major triads, adding in the second degree. So the notes now are 1, 2, 3, and 5, which are called tetrachords. By the way, these exercises come from the 12 Jazz Cycles You Need to Know resource. Link in the description. Now, for further variety and stimulation and fun, I'm going to switch to dominant 7th chords around the cycle of fourths. Here, first in root position around the cycle, 1, 3, 5, and flat 7 on each chord. Okay, I admit it, this is a little mundane and square, but still, this is the first basic shape to learn, and we must learn to walk before we can run. You can, if you wish, make this into a funkier line by dressing up these chord tones with a few other notes, like this. Next, I am going to up the ante. I'm going to widen the intervals and play the root up to the minor 7th and then the major third above. It feels strong and muscular to ascend a minor 7th up. Notice I am deliberately not playing the 5th. I do this for 2 reasons. 1, to create more interest, and 2, the 5th is not actually a core defining sound of the dominant chord. Now I'm going to start on the 3rd of each dominant 7th chord. So the 3rd up to the tonic, then down to the flattened 7th. Another great sound on the 3rd is the 3rd to the root, down to the flattened 7th. This reminds me straight away of Coltrane's simple but titanic Bessies Blues. Again, as you progress and become more familiar and confident, try improvising variations. I hope you enjoyed this presentation. If you did, please help the Jazzduets channel by subscribing, liking, and commenting. To finish, I'm going to play some bebop lines around this dominant cycle that come from the 12 cycles you need to know resource. Thanks for watching.